Hello, greetings. This is me again, Zahra Jawad. So I kind of lose it. I became very scared of Shaitan. I went to this ayat, if you've seen my past videos. If you're new, welcome. This is me, Zahra Jawad, an ex-Shia Muslim and an ex-Muslim. So, I usually don't give my opinions, but I discuss the Quran ayats directly, and where there really is a necessity to go to a hadith or read the Shia sayings, interpretations of the Quran ayats, which our religious scholars have done, given to them by our imams, then I do that. Otherwise, no. So where I can see the discrepancies and all this, in the Quran ayats first, and then go to the hadiths of the imams, and some Sunni hadiths if they're necessary, and sometimes to Sunni hadiths, finding something ridiculous, or then I go there too and show you. So this is my way. The way I took, maybe to show you the truth, and not much of tafsir and God knows what of the Qurans, but the translations, and from the Quran ayats as much as I can. So now in my last live stream videos also, I spoke about this Shaitan in Surah Sad, the ayat number I've forgotten, 85, 84 maybe, 80, before the 83, something like that. I don't want to go there because I'm very scared. So I may have scared you that la hawla wa la quwwata, nothing works, because the chosen ones are the saviors. Since Shaitan, from that ayat, not hadith, Quran ayat, in Surah Sad, says that by God's might, Allah's might, by your might, I will lead them astray. However, I had insights and I gave my opinion, because again, there are these Quran ayats. For example, in Surah Fussilat, don't remember the number of the ayat, they say that seek refuge in Allah from Satan's whisperings, right? And when people say, when they say, believers, that Allah is one and remain steadfast, the angels descend on them. So, there are these Quran ayats too, which contradict the other ayats that I've seen. I don't know, so I'm confused about them, and I'll say I'm confused. So I'm saying I'm confused about them. We were, and not only that in Shia Islam that we were told, but that I see through the Quran ayats that yes, only the chosen ones will be saved. So we have to stay with Rasulullah, and thereafter the Imams chosen by God, and or the Khalifa, representative of Allah after prophethood, after the seal of the Prophet Muhammad. So it has to be that way. So there are these contradictions. Like, can Allah alone save you? Maybe then we need not be too scared of that Shaitan is in us, Shaitan is in our minds. How can we use our reasoning? And we have to cling on to the chosen ones of Allah. Otherwise, we'll go astray. Right? We have to say, Ya Ali Madad. Since Imam Ali is is one of the chosen ones, Mukhlasin, and all this. Allah is not enough to save us. So in some Quran ayats, from that I gathered that Allah's might, through Allah's might. And what is Allah's might? Unlimited. So how Shaitan can work on that? I'm having a breakdown here. You maybe, you can tell by, may be able to tell by my voice. So I'm very scared. So I feel it's a great human tragedy. These religions, monotheistic religions, make us feel like sinners, and I feel like crying. Yeah, so I have broken down here. And so about the Shaitan, when I read those ayats in Surah Sad, in my opinion, or is there a contradiction in the Quran? Ayats, sorry. So I may have scared you people, but it is scary. Although there are other ayats that say take refuge in Allah from Satan. It's really strange. Like how much can they, if you read Surah Sad ayat and then you read these ayats in Surah Fussilat, really what a tragedy. I still cannot understand. So yes, I'm saying here that I'm confused. Maybe seemingly like Imam Ali had said in Najl Balagha. That seemingly there are contradictory ayats in the Quran, but when you read them in the light of Imam Ali may explain it. I don't know what he said really. So, like that, what was the solution to the seemingly contradictory ayats, but there are other ayats in the Quran that then make sense and it all falls into perspective. So nice that we have this one Allah, and in Surah Fussilat we are told that those who say Allah is one and then remain steadfast, that our Lord is Allah, and then remain steadfast. Sorry if I can't remember the ayat verbatim, but just the gist of it. And right now, so then the angels descend on them and all this, and maybe the Mukhlasin, the angels descend on them. These Mukhlasin are chosen by Allah, as we are told in also your chosen ones, like in the other ayats, who are these chosen ones and what is their position? Like in Surah Ali Imran, right? So if I've made any mistakes, you can correct me. I am quite disabled, disorientated, and shocked. Hello, yeah, so I took a break here. It's in Surah Al Imran. I finally got the courage to open the Quran. Sorry, online. Excuse me. Quran.com. Chapter 3, Ayat 33. Indeed, Allah chose Adam. And some Muslims say, why can't you be the chosen one? I've heard a Muslim ask me this question, and I just kept quiet. How can I thought, or maybe I said, no, I cannot be the chosen one, because the chosen ones are, Allah mentions their names in the Quran, who are the chosen ones. So not all of us are chosen. We cannot even say we are chosen. So it's indeed Allah chose Adam and Noah and the family of Abraham and the family of Imran over the worlds. She was a non-Shia who asked me this question. So I thought I would, because there's so much differences, and people, some of us, even Muslims, they have all these different views, and they ask why we cannot be the chosen ones, and someone asked me that and didn't perhaps get a satisfactory reply, because I'd have to search in the Quran and get all these ayats where it's mentioned who are the chosen ones and why we cannot be the chosen ones. Because God has chosen them above all universe. God prepared them and chose them. So this and what else? So about Shaitan, like when I was reading Surah Sad, I might, so it's very hard on my mind and my being, maybe my soul. Surah Sad ayat, let me see if I can go there. So if you read this ayat, it seems like, oh my God, no one can save you except the chosen ones. So that's my opinion. I was saying, not even la hawla wa la quwwata can save you, but there are Quran ayats, like in Surah Fussilat, that say that Allah says, seek refuge in Allah, in Him, from the whispering or from Shaitan's whispering, something like this, from Shaitan. So here we have why am I here, Surah Sadia, to tell you that this Shaitan, so I was just going crazy saying, I just broke, it's very, very terrible for me. Shaitan is not in me. Shaitan is not in me. And the voices start to come, kind of. Allah said, so indeed you are of those reprieved. I'm starting with the ayat 80 of Surah Sad, 38th chapter of the Quran. Now 81, until the day of the time well known. 82, Iblis said, by your might, I will surely mislead them all. So this is terrible, right? If he will mislead them all in the wrong. I will put them all in the wrong. Yusuf Ali translation. Before that I was reading Sahih International translation. 83, except among them your chosen servants. So purified by thy grace. Allah said the truth. So this ayat means that we better cling to the chosen servants, and they are the ones. And the ayat say, obey Allah and obey the messenger. So we have to obey Allah's messenger. Otherwise, if you just obey Allah and not Allah's messenger, it can't be. Then you can't be a Muslim. Things like that, right? I'm not able to explain this properly. Except the servants amongst them, sincere and purified by their grace. A Yusuf Ali translation of Ayat 83 in Surah Sad. By thy graces in brackets. So they have received the grace. And the Allah and the angels send the blessings and all this on this messenger. You also send blessings on. There's an ayat there in the Quran, Surah Azab. So this ayat really, you see this again, the Shaitan thing. Why are they chosen? And why are we not chosen and blessed? Sorry, this was a message. Why are we not blessed? Why can't we? Surah Fat ayat, right? Everyone is like Allah, Allah, Allah. Some Muslims, very much only Allah, only Allah. You see, here we are told in Surah Fat, in order that you, O man, may believe in Allah and His Messenger, that you may assist and honor Him. Why don't you assist yourself, honor yourself? Why doesn't God assist us? And we can honor ourselves. Honor Him meaning honor this Messenger. And He doesn't ask for any reward, we are told, for this message. But what we have to do is believe in Allah and His Messenger that you may assist, help him and honor him and celebrate his praise morning and evening. Very good, Yusuf Ali. So Yusuf Ali doesn't put i.e. Allah here. I'm on now this myislam.org website on this Quran ayat, Surah Fat ayat 9. So why can't Allah, every human being who believes in one Allah, Allah should say, celebrate each of yours, praise morning and evening. We should have it, right, for ourselves. You see, he doesn't have an ego. Why should also we have an ego? Our egos have dropped. We are the chosen ones, so we are the graced ones by Allah. And no problem of ego. And you can celebrate your praise morning and evening, each one of us. Why not? Tell me, why not? We are the sinners. We are below even his messenger. Because what did we do? Because we prefer the life of this world and we don't look for the truth. We didn't look for the true Allah. But there's so many Muslims now, 1400 years have passed. And so why don't you? So you are not, you can never become his messenger, right? And who wants to impart this message like this, that you assist him, honor him, celebrate his praise morning and evening. Glory, celebrate Allah's glory morning and evening. This would, okay, even if you put it this way, like Abul Alam Maududi has put it, translating the Quran ayat, so that all of you may all believe in Allah and His Messenger and support Him and revere Him and celebrate Allah's glory. Although word by word in the Quran ayat is not put this way, but celebrate Allah's, Allah's name is not put there. Glory, morning and evening. Actually you're worshipping, so is there a difference between worshipping in this ayat Allah and His Messenger? You are worshipping both of them. Honor Him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that you glorify. Now this one, Mahsan Khan, in his translation has put Allah, and that you glorify Allah's. So Allah's is in bracket, and then close bracket, praises morning and afternoon. So it's always that our ego would be developed. You see, Hazrat Ibrahim was shown. This I found out. So why aren't we shown? Which ayat was it that he was shown? Here. Which ayat? I'm just looking for the ayat. Hello, greetings. I just found I was going to Surah Anam first about Abraham, God showing Abraham. But here under Surah Anam, verse 36, those who listen in truth, be sure, will accept. So, as to the dead, Allah will raise them up, then will they be turned unto Him. Only those who pay attention to the call of the Holy Prophet with an open heart and with fairness of mind will accept the truth and believe in the Holy Prophet. This is the criteria. Because if people listen to the truth sincerely and earnestly, they must believe. If their spiritual faculty is dead, meaning my spiritual faculty is dead, then they are like the dead. They cannot escape being brought to the faith to face the judgment on the day of resurrection. Aka Mehdi Puya says, notwithstanding the universality of the teachings of the Holy Prophet, the real purpose of the divine guidance is to provide guidance to those who have enlightened minds and spiritual integrity, to use their free will, and intention in order to choose the right path and walk on it. Imam Jafar Sadiq said, Imam Jafar bin Muhammad al-Sadiq said, do not try to increase the number of the true faithfuls by inviting those who do not possess the essential intelligence and tendency for development and progress. Certainly Allah has pointed out in verse 17 and 18 of Surah Zumar, the men of understanding who study, examine, rationalize, and through their free will and candid intention make a choice of the path of Allah and reject the suggestions made by Shaitan. So do not try to increase the number of the true faithfuls by inviting those who do not possess, who do not possess these qualities, essential intelligence and tendency. Anyhow, this I wanted to add in this video for the record. So 37 of Surah Anam verse, I'll just read out. They say, why is not a sign sent down to him from his Lord? Say, Allah had certainly power to send down a sign, but most of them understand not. We don't have, here again, refer to the commentary of verse 35 of the surah. Signs were all around them, but they did not understand. They picked holes in anything that descended to their level of intelligence. Also refer to the commentary of the preceding verse. By most of them do not know. By quotation mark, most of them do not know, close quotation mark. Majority has been censored. So like we say, this Shias say, Sunnis are in majority, right? Muslims, Sunni Muslims. So that doesn't matter, like. They can say what they like against the Shias and all this. It makes no difference to us because God has already told us in the Quran that it's not the majority that counts. Even in Islam, like, they call us kafirs, but they call the Shias kafir. I mean, I have been a Shia, so I know. And there are videos on the YouTube also, you can see. So it doesn't matter really. However, I could be dead, like, because my rationality, when I'm using my reason, also being scared, how can I trust in my reason? How can I trust in my intelligence? Since, Shaitan can come in the mind. So we are told in Surah Fussilat to take refuge in Allah from Satan, and then read these ayats and be do ablutions. So only the pure can touch this in Surah Waqia. Trying to figure out the religion in detail has been explained in the Quran. Sorry, I'm reading a commentary under verse 38. Holy Prophet. Knowledge of everything in the universe has been given to the Holy Prophet. Therefore, the people have been commanded to carry out the orders of the Holy Prophet. Al Imran, verse 32, and 132, Surah Maida, verse 92, Hashr, verse 7, Surah Hashr meaning. Because nor does he speak of his own desire, It is not but revelation revealed, Najm 3, verses 3 and 4, and the Quran contains everything, Surah An'am verse 59. On this basis, the Holy Prophet declared that he is the city of knowledge and Ali is its gate. So the Holy Prophet and after him, Ali and the holy Imams among the Ahlul Bayt. Okay, these are authorized to deal with Ahlul Bayt, Surah Nisa, Ayat 59, Maida 55 and 67 are authorized to deal with and make known details pertaining to nature and all that which has been created by Allah. So let's see if I can find something else. Those who reject our signs are deaf and dumb, in the midst of darkness profound. Whom Allah willeth, He leaveth to wander. Whom He willeth, He placeth on the way that is straight. So, thank you to yourselves. If there come upon you the wrath of Allah or the hour, would you then call upon other than Allah? Reply if you are truthful. Hour of wrath, who would you call on? Allah or other than Allah? Call on. I would call on Allah. Oh my goodness, enable him to see Allah. The Imam advised him to meet him. I'm just reading the commentary section again. Some other day. On one occasion he met the Imam while he was standing beside a river and repeated his request. As directed by the Imam, his companions tied the hands and legs of the man and threw him in the river. While struggling to save himself from drowning, he solicited So yeah, sorry, this I found really funny. So I had to take a break. The commentary here under this ayat 40 of Surah Al-An'am, I read a little bit of it when a man asked Imam Jafar bin Muhammad al-Sadiq to enable him to see Allah. The Imam advised him to meet him some other day. On one occasion, he met the Imam while he was standing beside a river and repeated his request. As directed by the Imam, his companions tied the hands and legs of the man and threw him in the river. While struggling to save himself from drowning, he solicited help from every man standing there one by one, but none came to his rescue. Losing all hopes, he cried, "Oh God, help me." When he was about to go down under the water, then the Imam took him out from the river and asked him, "Did you see Allah?" He said, "Yes, my master." The Imam said, "You cannot see Allah with your eyes. You can see Him through your sight. Through your insight by realizing His essential existence." So this is the commentary and what Imams have given us under this ayat. They say, think you to yourselves, if there come upon you the wrath of Allah or the hour that you dread, would you then call upon other than Allah? Reply if you are truthful. Other than Allah. The pagans who believe in false gods must call upon the imaginary deities whom they worship. Imaginary deities whom they worship. But instead they cry out to Allah in moments of extreme helplessness, danger and affliction. In utter helplessness, unable to find help from any quarter, the inner self of every human being, be he an unbeliever, is liberated from the obstinacy of personal views and commands to cry for the help of the omnipotent and the omniscient Lord. And yet another ayat, Surah Nam, verse 41, Nay, on him would you call, and if it be his will, he would remove the distress which occasioned your call upon him, and you would forget the false gods which you join with him. So this is like from Surah Fatiha also. We do not call on anyone except you. We worship none but you, right? However, he has sent help here. Oh, so I would, in Surah Nisa we are told the women and children prayed to Allah to send a helper from himself. So they prayed to Allah, but they prayed for a helper to be sent down. Sometimes he removes the distress from you when you call upon him, and then he sends his grace and answers your prayer, and he removes the distress from you, the feeling of distress. He gives you patience and a feeling of that you are consoled. But sometimes man is required, human being chosen, like we are told in the Quran ayats, these chosen beings whom Allah has raised above all the worlds to guide us, to help us, even in our spiritual enlightenment and progress. So, very confusing for me. This has not been settling in me about telling the idol worshippers that you call your imaginary deities, and you will leave them when whom they worship, but instead they cry out. The pagans who believe in false gods must call upon the imaginary deities whom they worship, but instead they cry out to Allah in moments of extreme helplessness, danger and affliction. So this we are told in the commentary section under 40, that they, in extreme helplessness, instead of calling out to their imaginary deities, they do call out to Allah. And then continuing here with the commentary, in utter helplessness, unable to find help from any quarter, the inner self of every human being, be he an unbeliever, is liberated from the obstinacy of personal views and commands to cry for the help of the omnipotent and omniscient Lord. This we understand. In extreme helplessness we cry, but still I don't fully grasp this because sometimes a human being can help us. However, it says in extreme helplessness, only God's help comes. And when no one is able to help us, then only they say, only you can help yourself. That's true in extreme helplessness, danger and affliction, extreme, inner, like you have a religious, or you have a crisis inside, soul crisis, or a spiritual crisis, confusion, then only this one God helps us. So regarding the commentary and the Quran ayat, mostly the commentary, when it says imaginary deities, the pagans also left in extreme helplessness to call on that Allah. Bas Allah, only Allah. The thing is that one could also say that then in extreme helplessness, even Prophet Muhammad and the chosen ones could not help, right? And then we leave them, because then when the hour comes, I wouldn't even be calling on my Imam as a Shia. Let's say I again put myself, like when I put myself back to into the shoes of my Shia religion, then wouldn't I stop calling on Ya Ali Madad? Wouldn't say Ya Ali Madad or Ya Imam-e-Akhir, last Imam, help us. Our Savior, last Savior. I would say God help us. So it could be like this in both ways, for both ways, right? Whether it is one Allah, and this is where the Sunni Muslims and the Shia Muslims have been, Sunni Muslims don't think they've been confused, because they go straight to that extreme helplessness case, and then they would say, why do these Shias say Ya Ali, call on Ali, when we have Naad Ali also, and we do call on Ali? And then why did in Surah Tahrim God say in that ayat that not only Allah is his protector, but that Gabriel and the righteous among the believers, and moreover the angels are his assistant. So again about that, the commentary of the Imams written by our religious scholars, Shia religious scholars, that the imaginary deities they leave, again explaining that we can also leave our Imams in extreme helplessness. Only Allah can help, and not even Imam can help at that time. And aren't these what I was thinking about this ayat? My opinion, that if those idols are imaginary, as the Quran ayat, no, the commentary section also says, given to us by our Imams and written by the religious scholars, Shia religious scholars, you see here God shows Abraham which one? 70 Surah Anam verse, which I had wanted to go to, but I stopped at the previous ayahs and commentaries, and now here I am. So also did we show Abraham the power and the laws of the heavens and the earth, that he might with understanding have certitude. This is the translation of Yusuf Ali on verse 75. So he was shown this, and then I was thinking these prophets had visions, and righteous servants of chosen servants of Allah had visions. So could it just be imaginary visions? But we don't say that, because the thing is that to exploit this one power, that is ultimate power, that even the pagans have known about it perhaps. When they leave their imaginary deities to call on Allah, our Imams have said in that commentary section I read before. So it's very easy to, when they call on Allah, so they also knew that there was in these pagans who came across helplessness, extreme helplessness, they also know that there is one hakikat, one true reality, which is the most powerful. So could Abraham have had exploited this and then used this? So also did we show Abraham the power and the laws of the heavens and the earth, that he might have certitude. So this point put forward by me about this ayat, and notwithstanding, that Allah showed him the signs, His laws and His power. So in the Bible, Old Testament, we are shown that these righteous servants of Allah, God or Yahweh, they had visions and they saw this, extreme angels and power and chariots. God knows, very powerful things. In their visions, it was shown to them by Yahweh. So that, Brother God, these extreme visions that they had, the power, seeing the power and the laws of the heavens and the earth, shown to them in the visions. Here it doesn't say in the vision, in Abraham's vision, but it just says Abraham was shown, and thus with understanding had certitude here. So sometimes even in an extreme traumatized case, another point has come up, so I'm just, in a disorderly manner, let me just put this point, that in trauma, in such confusion, in such fear of hell and Shaitan, using the might of Allah, can we not, we're so, unable, helpless, that we give in, out of fear also. We give in to a human being. He says he's the servant of Allah, and without reasoning we give in. But, however, yes, our imams have said that no, don't, these people who don't come, they will have to go up Surah that they have no that intelligence, sincerity and integrity, and they are dead. Right? But on the other hand, they also say that don't try to bring them, because they are dead people. But then in extreme cases, like you put that fear in us, right, that Shaitan, what is said in Surah Sad, I might not be able to say this properly or do justice to this, but let me just try. Then, in that extreme fear that these people have given us, that God's wrath and punishment and hellfire, eternal, sometimes for a long period, sometimes forever. Could we also, not be able to use our intellectual faculties properly in that trauma, and seeking God's help, desperate, not be able to use the reasoning, because reason cannot help us at that time. And then what happens is, they tell us that there's one God, and Shaitan uses his might to lead us astray, and we are the chosen servants of Allah. And what does it say in Surah Sad, the way it says there? Right? That these then leading all of them astray. And hell is their, whoever follows Satan, hell is their eternal abode or something like that. So the hellfire, the thing of hellfire is there, right? Wouldn't that tarnish or our intellectual faculties to think? Straight, without fear, when there's no fear. Imam does say that you should not force people. They have a free will, and these people are dead. They should not be called to this, because very intelligent, intellectual, who use their reason, who have integrity, intellectual integrity, only they can be called to this truth. So, Iblis, he was arrogant. Except Iblis, he was arrogant. Then we are told that Allah asks Iblis, what prevents thee from prostrating thyself to one whom I have created with my hands? With my hands. It means, in brackets would mean might and whatever they say. So, might and power. Allah said, "Oh Iblis, what prevents thee from prostrating thyself?" But I can't see that might and power. In brackets with, after the hands of Allah. Okay, prostrating thyself to one whom I have created with my hands. Art thou haughty, or art thou one of the high and mighty ones? He said, I am better than him. You created me from fire and created him from clay. Allah said, then get out of paradise, for indeed you are expelled. And indeed upon you is my curse until the day of recompense. And I might forget my, what was the point here? So, yeah, the hell point, where is it? Respite then is granted thee until the time. So I'm skipping some until I reach it. So this Iblis said, by your might I will surely mislead them all. So none of us will be saved except among them your chosen servants. So none of us are immune to Shaitan's attack and all this, right? Except the chosen ones. And then Allah said, the truth is my oath, and the truth I say, that I will surely fill hell with you and those of them that follow you altogether. Here we have a great threat, like we will be punished. So what do? Any psychologist at deeper level, who knows the whole Quran, Ayats, to use fear on someone like in this way, what happens? You have to, and reasoning like this, what Shaitan says, a statement like this, that none of us will be immune from Shaitan's attack and misleading us, except the chosen ones. So reading this ayat, what would happen? And then God says, I will fill hell with you and those of them that follow you altogether. Hell. Sorry, not hellfire, but hell. Jahannam. Excuse me. So this would mean that the fear has come, and not even Allah's might can help us, right? Because with Allah's might, Shaitan is coming right, left, in every way. Even though there are Quran ayats, but then we have to follow the guidance of the messengers, chosen ones sent. And those chosen ones are named in the Quran. Who are the chosen ones? Abraham, family of Abraham. Imran, family of Imran. Jacob, Elisha, favored, all these, Jesus, Moses, Abraham, repeating. So, we're naturally going to, what would this do to you? Would you be thinking, or would there be more fear than thinking? Free thinking, free thought. That Imam Jafar Sadiq, good point there put by Imam Jafar Sadiq in Surah Al-An'am in the commentary section, that you should not force these people and you should not even try to bring these people to this true religion, what he means by truth. Because they're dead people, they lack this mental faculty of coming to this, and integrity and sincerity. But wouldn't you say that also, I don't know how to put this, wouldn't you say that, okay, they lack that, but then you're using also, this Quran ayats are using fear. So has your grandfather, Prophet Muhammad, did he give that freedom to those people back then? And then what happens when they don't have that sincerity and mental integrity, intellectual integrity? What happens to them? They will end up in the fire of hell or hell. So when this verse comes down, what will these people, even the ones who don't, who use reason, or the fear is cast here, like they look at this, 82, Iblis said, by your might, I will surely mislead them all. Do you think some hanky-panky? Like you see, by thy power, God has allowed Iblis to mislead us all, except his chosen servants, by his might. And the fear is all in the wrong. Then Allah says, except the chosen servants, then Allah says, then that I will surely fill hell with you and those of them that follow you altogether. So we have to, obey. Maybe I take another way now, because I can't say this properly here. Surah Azab verse, right? We are told he's the best counselor, marriage counselor. With whose blessings we can thrive in marriage, save our marriages, have a blessed, what is a blessed marriage? So in Surah Azab, he doesn't leave Zainab and Josh. Moment, whatever God gives you, take it, right? And whatever God has decided, Allah has decided for you, and this messenger has decided for you, take it, this Allah's messenger. Surah Azab verse 36, right? Then in the commentary section we are told that Imam Muhammad al-Baqir tells us that he was, that Zainab bin Josh it wasn't a suggestion, but let's say even if it was a suggestion by Prophet Muhammad to marry Zaid, she didn't will it, but he tried to convince her that this would be the best marriage for you. I'll bless it, Allah's blessing, favor, like it said for Zaid. So since I can't, the other way, I'll do it this way, right? I will tell you this way. You may think I'm Shaitan. You see, you have, because this Quran ayat is not, no one is safe from Shaitan's leading astray. No one except the chosen ones. So, but listen to this Shaitan. Maybe the Shaitan is the one you are worshipping. I mean, the one you are obeying and all that. How shall I say it? So we go to Surah Azab. And our Imams, remember it, they've also said that you should do Shaitan's. Haven't our Imams in Al-Kafi, where did I read? That you should do Shaitan's marifat, to know Shaitan. So if you want to know, if you're a Shia, you would listen. You would listen to my side. Right? You have all the protection. You can go and say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. You can say salawats later on. You can say, oh Rasulullah, protect us from this. Show us more guidance. Give us more understanding of these ayats, your wisdom in these ayats, in Allah's ayats, and your word, maybe, or Jibrail's word, according to Surah Takwir ayat. So, verse 30, you would listen if you are a Shia. You see here, it is not for a believer, man or woman, when Allah and His Messenger have decreed a matter that they should have any option in their decision. And whoever disobeys Allah and His Messenger, he has indeed strayed into a plain error. So we are told in the commentary section in Multilingual Quran I read, under this ayat, that Zainab was actually kind of forced. She didn't have a choice but to marry Zaid bin Harith against her will. And did that marriage work? No, it didn't work. It ended in divorce. And so God said, now you can even change your adopted son, the pagan, you have erred. It's okay, you made a mistake, but that was unintentional. And what are we told in another ayat? That he doesn't err. But we say, no, he, in God's wisdom, Zainab bin here it's really good in God's, pray to God, because now you may be saying, okay, we're listening to Shaitan. Surah Sad ayat leaves, Shaitan leaves no one except the Mukhlisin mentioned in the Quran ayat, right? So listen to this Shaitan, because Imam has said, do Shaitan's marifat also, like, understand Shaitan's ways and all, heights. He has a lot of power because he is using Allah's power, misusing it. So here 37, then going to the pages loading. What happens? He tells, and remember, O Muhammad, when you said to the one on whom Allah bestowed favor, and you bestowed favor, keep your wife and fear Allah, while you concealed within yourself that which Allah is to disclose. This is a great guidance counselor, marriage counselor. And you feared the people. He himself is fearing the people. And we say, no, this. I know what the Shia say about this, that Hazrat Musa also feared, conceived a fear in his heart. That that the people will see this magic in Pharaoh's court or palace, and then they'll believe in this magic. So that's how he feared the people, because now God was going to change this adopted son, the pagan Arab custom that Prophet Muhammad had practiced, adopting Zaid as his son. He was going to change it, and then the divorce was also coming, the marriage failed, Rasulullah's. So, you see, Allah bestowed favor and you bestowed favor on Zaid, right? That's good. But the marriage, did you bestow your blessings on this marriage? When we are told here, yes, you have no choice, you believers, but you will never, so he says, if you disobey Allah and His Messenger, you will be clearly on the wrong path. You'll be out of Sirat al-Mustaqim. Right? Going to hell. So, again I'm telling you to look at these ayahs like, you see, the marriage should not have failed with the blessings of Allah and the blessings of Rasulullah. But then we jump to saying that no, this is good interest for the whole marriage of believers. This is here when we look at this ayat 37, we go down and it says, and concerning the wives of their claimed, we married her to you in order that there not be upon the believers any discomfort, i.e. guilt, concerning the wives of their claimed, i.e. adopted sons. So, in the best interest of many Muslims, believers. But, like they say, two wrongs, so don't, make one right, or what do they say? So my mind, I can't quote, see such a, what you call it. So it doesn't make it right. I wish I had eloquence on this. You see, this part where the marriage fails of these two believers, because they obeyed. It is not fitting for a believer, man or woman. So man, Zaid, woman, Zainab bin Jahsh, obeyed Allah's and Rasulullah's decision. Right? Had no choice in it. They were compelled. When they didn't even like, Zainab bin Jahsh didn't want to marry Zaid, right? So a believer fails, marriage fails. Believer fails, right? And what else is here? He is indeed on a clearly wrong path. If he disobeys Allah and His Messenger, he becomes a disbeliever and he's clearly on the wrong path. So these two ayats, they don't tally with what we are told. A believer, when he obeys Allah and His Messenger, he becomes successful in his life and the hereafter. In everything in his life. Believers should not be giving believers problems. Right? Okay, there's an ayat which says, what you call it, like, when you say you believe but that you will not be tested and all this. But when Rasulullah, they surely have to succeed. Like Imam Ali said, I have succeeded. By the Lord of the Kaaba, I have succeeded. Even though he had many tragedies in his life. But he said, by the Lord of the Kaaba, I have succeeded. So I don't know how these two believers could have succeeded. The marriage failed. Just so, what happens? So when Zaid had no longer any need of her, he married her to you in order that there not be upon the believers any discomfort. Aren't Zainab bin Josh and Zaid believers? What discomfort they had to go through to get this. Prophet Muhammad didn't go through any discomfort regarding this. They were tested, let's say, if you say tests would come to the believers. These two poor couples were tested, distressed. Zainab, we are told in the commentary section, was so distressed that then Muhammad had to marry her. So why are you saying that there should be no discomfort for the disbelievers about concerning the wives of their claimed adopted sons? Poor Zainab bin Josh. Upon the believers, any discomfort. There seems to be a deception here. A great tragedy. And I'm just lost with words. Now I'm feeling something. So I've lost my ability to talk, find words, proper words. So please look at this, and then perhaps again I'll go back to something like the ayats where you would say again that Sarah, are you the Shaitan? Surah Shura ayat 23, chapter 42 of the Quran, and Surah Sad ayats 86 and 87. If you pretender, what are you? 80, that I shall fill hell with thee, and with Surah Sad, he said the truth is, again I've lost that Surah, sorry, I've lost the ayats. Yes, Surah Sad, chapter 38, ayat 85 and 86. I'll start to slowly show you. Let's see if we can find an impostor, a pretender, or not. Right? When Allah had an exception, changed this reward thing for Prophet Muhammad and his message. So I'll come here because I see a great tragedy happening. Islam is a false religion, and blaming the idol worshippers, Jews, that they didn't follow their religion, that they were hypocrites. There were some good Jews too, Christians also, but then Dhimmis they became, and they had to pay jizya. And these pagan idol worshippers also. And there are others who, don't have this spiritual intelligence, integrity, or intellectual integrity, like Imam Jafar Sadiq says. But no, your grandfather and Allah, you have not put any fear, these ayats. But they say, no, first use reason, and Rasulullah was there as a mercy. You could not have been scared. If you do the right thing, as the Quran has told you, you follow, then you will have no fear of hellfire. Because hellfire is not for you believers. So then you won't even fear Shaitan and his, no, God's might. By God's might, he would mislead you and all this, because you're with the chosen ones. But I feel something is wrong here. And like I explained, Surah Ahzab verses 36, 37, something is terribly wrong that I can not put in words properly. I need a genius. Do you know, remember the Quran ayats like this? And have that eloquence to properly explain all these ayats. Contradictory, and what I feel, I can sense is wrong in this religion now, but I cannot say in proper words. I'll try again and come back later. Thank you so much.